Right. So, here it is. Finally, after God knows how long. Okay, so this is actually not I guess it is a unboxing video of sorts, even though I've already unboxed it a million times, but whatever. I finally got this thing. I actually picked this thing up after the 7-day waiting period, that foolishness that Maryland has. I picked this thing up. Today's what now? Monday at 12:41 a.m. So I picked this thing up Saturday is when I got the email saying that I have not been disapproved. I don't know why they don't just say approved, but either you've been disapproved or not disapproved. Okay, whatever. Picked this thing up Saturday and started fiddling with it. I have actually not fired this thing once yet. But here it is. Get rid of this. Okay. And there we have it. The initial stages of my journey is finally doing this thing is finally over. HQL, CCW, and now finally this thing. And I gotta say, I thought I was gonna be starting a gun channel and all of that, but in all honesty, the initial excitement or thrill or something, for some odd reason, wore off before I even got this thing. Before I even had this whole thing, it wore off. Anyway, let's go through a few things. First of all, 18 rounds. 18 rounds times 2. Now, anybody who knows Maryland knows, oh my God, 18 rounds, that's not possible. It is possible. And for anybody who's listening in, ATF for anybody else, it is 100% legal. And I would tell you to go do your research, any regular person, but I'll just tell you right now. So in Maryland, magazine capacities above 10 rounds are not legal to buy or sell. Notice the wording I used. To buy or sell, they have to be either Maryland compliant, which means pinning it, or you just can't get them. These are not pinned, and yet I still legally have these. So how did I do it? Well, simple. Every other state around Maryland doesn't have that bullshit restriction. So the solution is simple: to contact an FFL in one of those said states, have it shipped there, go there, pick it up, or pick up the mags, and then have them ship the rest of the stuff to the FFL in Maryland. These things are not legal to buy or sell, public or private. They are, however, legal to have and own. So, there's that. Let me, since the whole process was legal, I suppose I can shout out the FFL. So shout out to Firearms in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. And then shout out to 2A down here in Frederick, Maryland. I picked this gun up from Grab a Gun over there in Texas. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. They actually shipped it to Firearms because Maryland with its stupid laws. The FFL that I was going to deal with was Machine Gun Nest, also here in Frederick. They pin these, and from what I learned from 2A is that you have to have some sort of license just to put a pin in this thing. I forgot what it was, like a machinist license or welder. No, no, something. So 2A couldn't even do it. So what they normally do if they get a gun that has more than 10 is that they ship to their location in West Virginia, and you got to pick up the magazines at the very least, if not the whole gun there. So that was an interesting bit of knowledge gained. Interesting bit of knowledge gained on that. But I have it. I also got these. Now, this is, what is this? This is 124 grain. Of course, these are also FMJs. So, these are FMJs. And yes, I'm very well aware that you don't use these things for, or at least you should not use these things for self-defense. There's that. I need to now go research where I can get a shit ton of ammunition for Costco prices. So think bulk. That should not be too hard to find. So there's that. I have not shot this gun once yet, and I've had this thing for almost 48 hours now, if not more. But I have, in fact, pulled it apart. Oh, actually, there's a few reasons why I haven't even so much as shot it once yet. Normally, I don't read the paperwork. In fact, I didn't even read the paperwork to disassemble this thing. I just disassembled it and reassembled it. Just fiddling around. But I do actually want to read the paperwork is one. The other thing is, unless there's something I missed in this stuff, either this level or the basement level down here, and I don't think I did. Grease, lube, oil. I would like to do that initially because I have no idea how long this firearm has been in the warehouse. I don't know if the oil that came with it is still sufficient. So I would like to get some oil, and I do not want to use WD-40 or even heavy-duty silicone, even though, especially on the silicone part, that would probably work really well. I would like to use some approved stuff, especially since this thing is under warranty, and the last thing I need is for some chemical to get on this thing to void the warranty, and then I'm ass out. So there's that. I need to get some oil, which I'll probably pick up tomorrow after work, or later today after work. I would like to clean this thing initially first. I'd like to put this mag well on there as well, and probably figure out which one of these straps is the largest one. So there's that. Now then, why did I get this? Well, number one, because I already went through all the trouble of getting the HQL and especially the CCW, especially here in Maryland. Oh, a bit of side note, I actually also applied for the CCW in Pennsylvania. Why? Why Pennsylvania? You gonna move in there? No, I have no intention of moving there. However, unlike Maryland, with all the other states in this union, in this federation, Pennsylvania has reciprocity laws with, if I'm not mistaken, every other state circling Maryland, and a couple others outside of Maryland as well. Well, not circling Maryland. Not all, if I'm not mistaken, but quite a lot. So I can go everywhere short of DC in this DC metro tri-state area, and even a little outside of the tri-state area, and be completely fine. I just obviously, if anyone knows, as everyone should know, can't go into DC. Nobody can go into DC. Nobody can go into DC. Nor do I want to, but nobody can go into DC. So I should have that Pennsylvania CCW relatively soon. I mean, hey, I already have the Maryland one, so that checks out. So they already, should know. The lady actually called me back. They do some, I forgot what it was, ICANN or some check. And that was the last of 3 steps. So I should get some notice relatively soon on that. Also, the other main reason why I wanted to hurry up and do this was because I've had this CCW now. I've had access to guns. I've just never had any of my own, but I've had access to them. Okay. I would like my own shit. So there's that. Also, things are getting quite interesting in this country, and things are getting more and more interesting as the days go by. Put simply, I would like to be out here with nothing more. I would like to be out here with something more than just the black on my ass for comfort. So, yeah, there's that. There's that. That's probably the main reason of all reasons. But, yeah, that's, here it is. I do, as I said, this, I guess, euphoria, or maybe not even euphoria, whatever the hell it is, of getting your first firearm. Oh my God, ooh, it wore off before I even had this thing. It wore off before I even had this thing. That being said, I do still plan on getting 2 more guns. One is this is a 9mm, this is the 4-cylinder, this is going to be the daily driver. You see the cutouts here, which means optic, which I don't really care for that. Really, I'm probably going to put a laser somewhere here instead of an optic. And there's a space here. Guess what that's for? And since this is going to be the 4-cylinder, the daily driver, right, I plan on getting a suppressor, although I'm going to need to change the barrel. I will need to change the barrel, but yeah, it's unloaded. It's unloaded. Just it's unloaded. It's, oh my God, you guys are probably going, oh my God, he just pointed. Oh, Jesus, here we go. Look. See, it's unloaded. It's unloaded. See, unloaded. Just, you really think after all of this I'm gonna be doing? All right, whatever. I probably shouldn't even have said any of that stuff. You should have just been able. You should have had the IQ high enough to. Anyway. Probably going to want a suppressor on there, but then I'm also probably going to get 2 other guns, despite the obvious, it seems pretty obvious that I am not going to create a gun channel like I had originally wanted. I plan on getting some sort of quote-unquote 1911. Now, not an actual 1911, the 1911, obviously, but a 1911 type themed whatever. I saw one by SIG. It's 1911 style. Oh, and also I only do steel frames, metal frames. I don't do polymers. Sorry, I don't want a plastic gun. I need the metal, the iron, the steel, right? So there's that. And then, of course, so that 45, 1911, or I guess also could be 2011 because of the double stacks. I'm going to be doing that at some point. You know, obviously the 45 ACP, the V6. So I got the 4-cylinder, the V6, and then of course, obviously, we're going to want a V8. A V8, and the only V8 that I am going to accept is the 50 cal Desert Eagle, which I was able to hold, and people say that gun is, people say that gun is heavy, that gun is light, or maybe I'm just huge, I don't know, maybe I'm just big. I mean, 6'7", 3'6", actually I'm 375 now, which is kind of weird because I lost a bunch of fat by that fat analysis thing at the gym, but I'm still 375, so I don't get it, but whatever. But that thing, I know it weighs a lot more than this, but to me, when I held this and I held that, this thing seemed like maybe only half a pound lighter, even though it is a hell of a lot lighter. despite being an all steel frame. So there's that. So that's 4-cylinder, the V6 in whichever 1911 variant. The Kimbers seem nice, but nah. That SIG 1911 one seems nice, meh. Whichever 1911. 45 ACP, obviously, and then of course the V8, the American Muscle, and all that business. Of course, those are for way later. Who knows? Maybe that V8, as I call it, might be a present for me when I get completely out of debt. The end of what, next year, 2025, December 2025. If this job, with all of its raises and cost of living adjustments, keeps up, I don't know. But there is that. Now, I am able to carry. I am able to carry in Maryland. I am legally able to conceal carry in Maryland. But am I going to be doing that? That's a very interesting question. That's literally that's literally like half the reason you get, well, the whole reason you get the CCW, right? And part of the reason why you get a gun in the first place, especially if you are in a state that you can carry. However, I work for the government, and looking at these laws, since I only go work and home, well, work, gym, home, but work specifically, unlike private places where if they have no guns allowed, since I am 100% legal, I would only get a trespassing charge. Because I work for the government, I can get me not a weapons charge still, but I can get my CCW taken away if I knowingly come into a government place, either a direct thing that's owned by the government or government in effect because of the lease. I forgot where this went. This went to something, whatever, just whatever. And there's no way I'm going to be able to not say or be able to say or argue, I didn't know. August 28th coming up of 2024 is going to be 1 year exactly that I've been at the job, and I'm going to sit there and claim that I didn't know that it was a government facility. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I don't know how it would be if I worked for the Frederick government, but or if I worked for the county of Frederick, because Frederick seems to be a bit more like the South. A bit more, not exactly, a bit more like the South as far as gun laws compared to Montgomery County. But in Montgomery County, be it a federal building, state building, or county building, local, national, state, or local, you go there with a gun, even if you're legal, because of Maryland's laws. And I don't feel like fighting that shit, because maybe there's some federal overruling that I could get, but I don't feel like going through all that. So, well, what's the point of having a gun to protect you if you can't conceal? That's the other thing. All of this is all well and nice as far as the way things are going in this country and you not wanting to be ass out, right? But I'm going to be honest with you, in this area, I have not, despite the crimes that you hear, and yeah, you hear every once in a while of somebody getting shot. And yes, there are gangs, MS-13 and all that stuff around, but in all honesty, I've lived in this DC metro area since I was 5 years old. And pretty much everywhere, well, not even, this isn't DC metro, this is Frederick, but this whole tri-state area, in all honesty, if you just mind your own goddamn, you'll more than likely be fine. You'll more than likely be fine. You just mind your own fucking business, right? Carjackings don't really happen like that around here. There's challengers and chargers left and right in this apartment complex. Interestingly enough, not a single one of them is owned by somebody who's not white. I found that to be interesting. They're not getting stolen. They're not getting stolen. There were a couple car break-ins where people got the key fobs from non-Challenger, non-Chargers, non-Chrysler products and went into people's cars. Didn't break any windows, nothing. Just opened them and took whatever little loose change they could find. But that was about it. I'm going to be honest with you. Even though this is one of those, Maryland is one of those sanctuary states, and Montgomery County is one of those sanctuary city type things. And if you go to Cider Mill Apartments down there near Lake Forest Mall, that's essentially Central America. That place is known as Satellite El Salvador, Satellite Honduras, Satellite Nicaragua. Okay. Despite all of that, there's really not that much, you know? So, there's that. However, saying nothing of this coming election, but just in generally from now on, if things get a bit too interesting, more interesting than I much care for, again, it'd be nice to not be out with nothing but the black on my ass for comfort. Yeah. So, there is that. There is that. I don't really have much else to say. Maybe some videos at the range. Obviously, I'm going to be going to the range at some point. But maybe some videos, some range time videos. Might be making more guest appearances. But short of that, this thing's going to be mainly at the house. Because in all honesty, I just in case, it is insurance. So, speaking of insurance, that's probably another reason why I'm not carrying. Because if I need to use this thing, no doubt, no doubt, especially since Maryland, I believe, has a 100% prosecution rate with any gun things, I'm gonna want some insurance, which means I need to go research or re-research the firearms insurance. I'm not going to say any names because none of them are giving me a check, but from what I understand, some of the more vocal, verbose ones out there might not be the best. And some of the ones that you've never heard of might actually, in fact, be better. So I need to go research that. I need to have that. That's going to be a monthly bill because there's like a subscription to that crap. But yeah. So I need to do all of that stuff and have that in place. So whenever I do happen to need to, just in case. So there's that. So I haven't shot this thing yet, but is there some stuff that you've noticed that you've liked or not liked? Well, the reason why I got this was because I shot the chrome version of this, the chrome steel version of this, at the Machine Gun Nest. Canik, world's best triggers, apparently. That seems to be the general consensus, if not just the absolute law in the gun world. Canik is tied for number one, if not is number one, for the best triggers on planet Earth. There was no recoil with this thing, or at least, again, maybe it's because I'm just big and strong, but there was like damn near no recoil with this thing when I shot it. So it was nice. And obviously you're going to want to shoot your gun before you go get it, because once you got it, it's yours, right? So there's that. What else? 18 rounds double stacked. I tried loading all 18 rounds, and when I loaded all 18 rounds, it would always jam. 17 or more, loaded fine, no problems, but for some odd reason, the 18th round, I thought that might have been a defect. I went online, and it wasn't long before I found that not only is this a common problem with these Caniks, but seems to be a common problem with damn near all guns of this high, quote-unquote, high capacity. Okay. The one solution that one person on one forum said to somebody else who came with the literal exact same problem, damn near word for word as how I worded it, was have the slide all the way back when you're loading it up, and the slide slamming forward will get that 18th round loaded. I don't know if I tried that properly, but according to the person who took that advice, it worked flawlessly. So there's that. That is also another reason why I would like to have the oil, the firearm, official firearm oil, gun oil for this thing. In fact, take this thing out. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Woo. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff in there. This is the first time I've ever done this. This thing is for up here somewhere that allows me to maneuver the slide easier. I'll probably be putting that on at some point. What is this? Have no idea what this is. All the more reason why I'm going to want to read that manual. But okay. Oh, wait. This is up here. I guess replacements of the fiber optic, whatever. Okay. So, yeah, there is that. I guess one of these is for this magwell, which I will be putting on. Anyway, yeah, point is, I guess I will not be the gun nut. I will be stocking up on ammo, though, I'll tell you that. But I guess I will not be the gun nut, and I guess this means that I will be getting guns far enough apart to where the ATF won't get triggered and start making guest appearances at my house. I think it's, 90 days? If you buy more than one firearm in less than 90 days, then they come a knocking. Yeah, well, the next one I might buy might be in December as a Christmas present for me, and then again, that Desert Eagle, that 50 cal, I'll probably buy that as a present for me for getting out of debt, being 100% debt free. But who knows? Anyway, this has gone on long enough. I now have to go and actually learn everything there is to learn. Oh, carrying. If I carry, how will I be carrying? Well, that's the interesting thing, because in addition to getting all this stuff, I also got a whole bunch of custom-made clothes, like literally custom-made, custom measurements and fitted. My pants for work is actually washing right now, and my shirts, those are dry clean, because those are apparently high quality fine linen shirts, dry clean only. The 5 shirts for work and the jeans and all that, all custom made, end up costing me like close to $500. Custom made, makeyourownjeans.com, shout out to them. I've ordered from them a number of times. It's always worked. The clothes have always been perfect, right? But the point is, they're custom made. Now with guns, especially if you're going to be doing in waistband or maybe even appendix or all that crap, you need to get them a size bigger. So therein lies some other crap as far as Maryland. Let me start with the clothes. The clothes, they are fitted. They well, not fitted like skinny jeans or like painted on, but you know, like properly fit me, right? You can tell they've been custom tailored. So I would not be carrying in waistband. I will not be carrying appendix, even though I put this thing in the holster. And in today's day and age, with the advances in gun technology, unlike guns of previous time, think the need for the Israeli method, if anybody knows what that is. Guns aren't just going to go off like that. Now, I say that, but then I saw a story recently of, I mean, it's an old story, but I saw it again recently of SIGs having malfunctions. Okay. Well, those are the only guns that I heard having that problem, and they did a recall of something, or I guess not admitted fault, but an update or an upgrade, okay, recall of guns going off. There's a reason why I would never carry appendix. Why? Because in the event that my gun is going to get taken off me by law enforcement, I don't really trust anyone, least of all cops or any kind of law enforcement, with a gun that's pointed where it's pointed in an appendix situation. All right? Don't trust them. I don't want to hear, oh my God, it's just an accident or anything like that, or you moved or resisted, so therefore that's why. No. No. So there's that. That is the main reason, if not the only reason, why I wouldn't carry appendix. Plus, I just, actually, no, that's 50% of the reason. I just also would not. Nah. Holsters, interesting enough, Canik's website has holsters, shoulder holsters. But for that, you're always going to need a jacket. That's not going to work come summertime, right? Especially now, what was it? It was like 90 today or some shit like that. That's not fitting to work. So it's going to have to be on the right side, because I'm right-handed. So there's that. Well, I guess it could also be left side with this part pointed towards my front, and then I just pull. But nah. However, as far as the whole thing of carrying goes, again, custom fitted clothes, concealed carry, obviously, but again, my shirts are custom fitted as well. So, you know, so there's that. And then lastly, on this whole thing of carrying, I am legally allowed to carry concealed in Maryland. If you have a Maryland concealed carry weapons permit, you can legally carry concealed a firearm. Okay. Assuming obviously the permit's not expired. That permit also allows you to carry open. Despite that, and anybody who lives in Maryland who's in my situation of having a concealed carry, feel free to back me up on this. Despite that, you do not open carry in fucking Maryland. I don't care anybody who wants to get technical. Well, technically below the Mason-Dixon line, so it's the South. It ain't South enough. There's not enough South in the world. I don't care if Maryland turns into Alabama or Texas, rural Alabama or Texas. No. You do not fucking open carry in Maryland. I don't care how fucking... I am as legal as any mortal human can get. My black ass is as legal as you can get. You do not open carry in Maryland. Having said that, you do not fucking open carry in Montgomery County to save your fucking life. There are only 2-3 people that can open carry in Maryland. Obviously, cops. 2 is any armed security, and you have big ass security, like essentially cops, but not cops. You use security, you got the body armor and all that stuff, but you're just hired armed security. And 3 are those armored truck drivers. Those are the only 3 people that can open carry, despite the fact that you are legally able to. I am legally able to. I can walk outside right here, right now with this shit holstered, and the cops will come and they can't do shit, legally anyway, to me about it because I have my concealed carry permit that is not expired and doesn't expire until what, February of next year, 2025. Anybody who lives in Maryland knows you do not open carry even though you are legal anywhere in Maryland, so I don't care if it's Panhandle area, much less Montgomery fucking County of all counties, not Montgomery fucking County, okay? Anybody who lives here and knows. Okay, so there's that. So there is that. I am not too versed in the laws on how to carry this thing in your car. There might be some certain situations like that. I don't know. Or again, maybe because I have the permit, then I can just carry it however the hell I want in the car. I don't have to have it unloaded or whatever. I'm not sure. So I got to go read up on that. Want to fill out the warranty information, all of that. But yeah. So in all honesty, this thing, much like whichever 1911-ish, 1911-like essence of 1911 I happen to get, and much like the fucking V8, the fucking combo charged 10.0 liter super turbocharged V8 in the Desert Eagle 50 cal that I'm going to get at some point later in life. All of them are probably just going to be in the fucking house, in all honesty. I mean, I got the concealed carry just in case, but all of them are probably just going to be in the house either way. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. 9mm. It doesn't have the P or P plus or P plus P plus P plus whatever the hell. It doesn't have that anywhere on here. So in the comment section, y'all can feel free to let me know where is the place to stock up on ammo for cheap. We're talking bulk packs. Are there any brands that, for anybody who might have this specific gun, any manufacturers that seem to work better than others? Some that, oh my God, is nothing but jams, aluminum, brass, whatever the hell. Yeah, put it in the comment section. Anyway. That is that. I need to get some sleep, and I also need to finish getting my clothes ready for work tomorrow, because I gotta go find some more temps to hire for this upcoming election. It's very annoying being a freaking manager in all but title. No, literally. I'm a manager in every single way. I hire and fire people. Well, hire and assist in fire and have influence in firing. But I am not an actual manager. Even though they say I am, but I don't have the manager title. Anyway, whatever. I gotta wrap this up. So let me know, is there anything that I'm missing, anything that I should do? Obviously, I'm going to clean this thing once before I put any rounds through it. Anything I'm missing is one manufacturer's ammunition's on average better than others. What else? Is there any accessories that I should get? I do plan on getting a threaded barrel. This one came with a fluted barrel, if I'm not mistaken. Fluted barrel? Came with a fluted barrel. Okay, I believe they have threaded and fluted barrels now for all the Canik lines. I plan on getting a threaded barrel and a suppressor, which, if I'm not mistaken, takes a year of background checks. Make sure you're not out here trying to 007 that shit. Ooh, anyway, so anyway, recommendations, any recommendations? And no, I do not have a gun club that I'm a part of. I do not see myself joining the NRA. Huey P. Newton, put your recommendations for any gun clubs, known or unknown. But I don't know if I'm really going to just link myself to an association just like that, because, anyway, later.